Hello everyone, I'm Priyansh from Team SigNoz. Thank you so much for tuning in, and in today's video, we will talk about implementing OpenTelemetry in Go application. So let's get started. So the blog that we are going to follow is present in OpenTelemetry, and this first very blog, complete guide to implementing OpenTelemetry in Go application. So let's get the agenda clear for this video. There are basically four things that we are going to do. First is install SigNoz, then install the sample Go app, and then we instrument the app with OpenTelemetry, and then set the OpenTelemetry exporter endpoint to a specified port of the machine where SigNoz is installed. And then finally, we analyze the SigNoz dashboard for metrics and traces. So let's first install SigNoz so that OpenTelemetry can send the data to it. And for the purpose of this video, we will install SigNoz locally on this machine. So these are the steps that you need to follow. We'll just follow step by step of things written on this blog. So let's copy this command. This basically says git clone dash branch main, SigNoz main branch. So we just cloned the SigNoz repo, the main repository, in the local directory that I created on my desktop, that's SigNoz demo. And it kind of cds into SigNoz/deploy folder and runs the install.sh script. So the script worked fine. We installed successfully on this machine. SigNoz is running on localhost 3301, and let me share my email address real quick. Yeah, we are done installing SigNoz, and SigNoz is up and running on localhost 3301. Now the screen says to log into SigNoz. I do have my login credentials. If you do not have, I recommend creating an account for this. Now back to the blog, and we will follow the steps mentioned further. So the step one is get the sample Go app from GitHub, and this is the sample app that we are talking about. So there are a couple of things which you need to know. The first one is, if you would like to follow along with this tutorial, then you must check out the without instrumentation branch. And for purpose of this video, we will use the without instrumentation branch, and I will walk you through all the code changes, all the steps that are needed to instrument the app. And if you would like to skip all of these, then just go and check out the master branch, clone the master branch instead. And so I have already cloned the without instrumentation branch and in my code editor, VS Code, and it's present over here. And we are ready to make some changes to it. Yeah, just follow along. So we have to first install some dependencies, but we'll skip it for the moment. Then step 3 says to declare environment variables for configuring OpenTelemetry. So you just have to declare some variables. So let me just copy this piece of code here and open VS Code and paste it in here. Do a command S, and yeah, we imported the OS library. Cool. Next, step 4 says to instrument the Go application with OpenTelemetry. So we just have to import few statements and initialize this init tracer function. Let me just get this piece of code, copy it in here, and paste it. Next, go and copy this function to the bottom. Yeah. So here, just above the main function, and yeah, cool. So far, so good. Next, step 5 says to initialize the tracer in main.go file. So this is one of the modifications that we need to do to our main.go file. Copy this code and make changes just below the main function. Next, add the OpenTelemetry Gin middleware. So we have to add the middleware, and for that we need one import statement here, and r.use this middleware, this lines of code that we need to have in our app, paste it right here. Okay, so you might see some errors. So let's just quickly remove those errors. Just getting those. Yeah, all the errors are gone. Now, according to the article, it says step 7 to set environment variables, and finally run your Gojin application. Now that you have instrumented your Gojin application with OpenTelemetry, you need to set some environment variables to send data to SigNoz backend. You can name this app whatever you want. We will go with the default one that's written in this blog, and hence this is the final run command. Copy this, go to VS Code. Let me clear it up, and boom. We'll wait for a while till it starts, and yeah, it's serving on the port 8091. Cool. So now we need to interact with our app. Yeah, congratulations, you have instrumented your sample Go app. So we just have to hit the books endpoint a couple of number of times. And yeah, this is the minimalistic UI that you can see here. To visualize the trace data with SigNoz, we first need to generate some user data by interacting with the front end. And this is kind of a dummy app right now, but this was done to give you a sense of how Go applications can be instrumented, and then you can customize it according to your use cases. Yeah, so let me just hit refresh a bit. So we hit the books endpoint a couple number of times. Yeah. So the metrics section provides an overview of all your applications. What you currently see on the screen are the 4 applications that come with the default hot rod demo application that we ship with SigNoz. You can also install SigNoz without them. And the last one is the Gojin app that we just instrumented. So let's click on it and see what we got here. Currently, we do not have much data to make a better sense of what's happening at our backend. So there are no active services interacting with each other in real time and just producing constant data. We do not have that right now, but this is meaningful data. And let's click on this trace and analyze it. This page shows how you can use distributed tracing to kind of retrieve detailed telemetry data and see how your applications are performing. That towards the right, we have some powerful filters. You can use those advanced filtering pane that contains multiple filter criteria that you can apply to your spans. You can also sort traces by duration. So let's click on the slowest one. And yeah, we have some data, and let's click this one. As you can see, there is not much things to look in here because this is just a dummy app, just one endpoint that's booked. So to better understand how metrics, graphs, and traces would look like, let's check out a service from one of our pre-installed Hotspot applications. Cool. This is how the actual live dashboard SigNoz looks. The application details section contains 3 separate panes. First is the application metrics, then external data, and the database calls. Select a trace, click on it. As discussed earlier, you can sort the traces by duration. So let's click on the slowest one, then group by HTTP URL. So yeah, this is the graph that you get. Click on any one of these, so it will just remove this legend from the graph, and that's all for there. And let's get the highest duration and click on it. So for each span, SigNoz shows the following details: the name of the operation, the name of service, start time, duration. The flame graph and the Gantt charts make it easy to deconstruct a trace into its components. And moreover, you can also see contextual data for an event with tags and events in the rightmost span. Yeah, and let's click on it and get to the root cause of it. This is the select statement. It is Taking 1 second and click on that. We can see the exact SQL query with the ID 506. So the red ones are the error traces. So it says get driver. If you click on it, this is a Redis error, and it was caused off because of Redis timeout. So this is the power of SigNoz that you can get. You can exactly drill down on the exact root cause of problem. This is again an error, which is again a Redis timeout. This is it. So that is all for this video. If you have any questions about SigNoz, definitely reach out to us on our Slack channel, a place where we discuss things around open source, observability, and APM. We would love to chat with you and understand your use cases with SigNoz. Links to everything will be in the description below. I take your leave. Goodbye.